Hello, everyone.
Yeah, and welcome to the live version of Tales.
Woo! Yeah! All right. So,
For the next 30 minutes, we will be discussing what's going on with Tea and Tolkien. Yep, and I'm Humphrey. And I got my eye on anybody who wants to cause trouble. Yeah, troublemakers will be ejected.
okay. So, since it's Comic Con weekend,
We couldn't go to Comic Con. Why? Because we're toys. But then we realized something. Screw that. Let's just have our own Comic Con here.
and I'm very, very pleased to see that so many of you turned out here to participate in this very, very interesting presentation.
All right. So, in this story, we will be in this presentation. We talk about everything from the Tolkien movies to the videos and everything else.
And because of that, we ask that you please put your phones away.
Yep. You in the front row. Put your phone down. Wait.
Recording is very prohibited.
All right. So, okay, put your phones away. No tweeting. No saying you're at our little panel on Facebook or anything like that. Okay. So, okay, now we're going to be taking questions. So if you got a question, please feel free to join us in the front.
Should we scoot over?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
And, so. All right, Acorn, you got a question?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah, what is it?
Will you be doing other versions of? You remember when you did that video combining the Tolkien's Guide to the Middle Earth?
Yeah, the Hitchhiker's Guide to Middle Earth. Yes.
Will you be doing more things like that, like in involving like Star Wars and the Marvel Universe and Harry Potter and Game of Thrones?
Wow. I guess you put a very good idea in our heads.
Oh. Well, we're not so sure about Star Wars, though. I mean, we talked about that last year at the Don't Forget to Bring a Towel presentation.
Yeah.
And, we talked about that in,
But, well, there is a connection between Game of Thrones and Harry Potter. And,
well, they say that, you mean Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Westeros and Middle Earth are like they're like connected somehow.
Indeed. Okay, we got,
Oh, I got a question.
yes, Rupert.
Yeah. Are you gonna do like your favorite Lord of the Rings fan fiction stories? Ooh, that's right. Thank you for asking us, Rupert. We
have yet to talk about Tolkien fan fiction. And, because we haven't talked about fan fiction, well, that's one of the things we need to talk about. Fan fiction. Which one is good and which one is bad?
Which one follows the movies more closely and which one follows the books more closely?
Okay.
So, are you gonna do a video comparing the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit cartoons to the live-action counterparts?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Because, well, I mean, we did that once a while ago, but we need to do another one. Like, there's a whole lot of stuff that's different between the cartoons and the live action version. And we're glad that Peter Jackson did what he did with those with live action features for all that's implied. I mean, the Breaking Bad and Ralph Bashir versions, yeah.
They feel kind of dated somehow.
Okay, oh, Susie, I see you.
Hi, Susie. I got a question for you guys.
Yes.
What if Lord of the Rings was more like Game of Thrones?
Oh. I mean, well, they did have a version of Game of Thrones being played in Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's not just about getting the Iron Throne. It's all about controlling the kingdom. Like,
actually, it's more like, Sean Bean was Boromir in Lord of the Rings, and then he played Ned Stark in Game of Thrones.
Oh, you want to do it like that?
Yeah, actually, you've been meaning to say, we've been meaning to talk about that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, Sean Bean, why you no leave to see second season?
I say, Crow. Especially since Ned Stark has a lot of explaining to do in regards to our Jon Snow, who isn't really Jon Snow at all. He is Aegon Targaryen and the legit heir to the Iron Throne. Yeah. I mean, shame on Nettie Boy. I mean, he tried to be an honorable guy, but he lost his head. That, N to the E to the D. His name is Ned, and he lost his head.
Oh, so are you ever gonna break down the fight that you once had on the set of Tolkien Thursdays?
Oh yeah, that's another thing we needed to talk about. The fandom fights. I mean, basically, it's like you take one fandom and you take one fandom and you pit it against another, and there's people on both sides. But what if there's people who like both Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings? I mean, we never really think about that. But everything that is happening so far.
So far, we discussed Tario, we discussed Aragorn,
and maybe we should do a comparison video with those two characters. I mean,
well, characters that were added for the sake of adding them on, and yet they were given roles. Like, okay, I remember groaning, oh no, they're just throwing in another female just to appease all the female fans who are inevitably watching this, watching The Hobbit.
But then, Tauriel turned out to be not as bad as you think.
I mean, she wasn't as bad as you think. Like, I like the part where when Keely said something like, hey, you want to search my pants? I can have anything hidden in them. And then she's like, or nothing. And then I mean, we already knew that Keely had a thing for elves.
Yeah.
In the first Hobbit movie. But the second one is where things really took off. Okay, so, Susie, I got a question for you.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Okay, what do you expect to get from the Amazon Tolkien show?
Oh, more interest in Lord of the Rings and anything talking about more interest. I want more people to be interested in Tolkien. Okay? They
said for many years that Lord of the Rings was like the most unfilmable book in the world. They couldn't even film it.
I know. The Ralph Bashir just proved that out.
Yeah, like in the cartoon, Aragorn looks like a Native American, which for some reason I find highly offensive.
Yeah.
And even the more offending part about that is none of the male characters wear pants except for Legolas, Gimli, and the little hobbits. None of them wear pants. I'm like, ew. Put some pants on, guys. Nobody wants to see your underwear. Ah, gross. No one wants to see your underwear.
Yeah, like, why would anybody want to see your underwear? I mean, I find that highly disturbing. And,
Okay. So, here's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting this Tolkien thing to ride for at least about, let's say, about 5 to 7 years.
Yes, 5 to 7 years.
That'll give people enough time to get used to this, to seeing Tolkien.
Yes. I mean, there was a surge of when the Hobbit movies were released in theaters. There was a huge surge of Hobbit related fan fiction.
Yeah, and we needed to do a video. We need to do a show where some of the parts of the Hobbit connect very well to the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, even if it's just an Easter egg, like glowing, holding his son's picture. And then Legolas took it away and said, "Hey, who's this ugly man?" And then Gloria's like, "Oh, that's my wife." And she's like, "Who is this ugly little boy?" And then Gloria says, "Oh, that's my son, Gimli." And then
at least a couple of people in the back, myself included, yelled out, "And your future best friend, you jerk!"
Yes. And my future best friend, you jerk! Ugh!
Okay,
Alright, Nikki, you're in the back?
Yeah, can I ask something here?
What?
Yeah, the desolation of Drogon.
Ah, the desolation of Drogon.
Yeah, I like the part where Tara was saying, well, she says that she described what the dragons, Daenerys' dragons would do to Azog's armies.
I know. That would have been epic. The Dothraki just rolling right over the orcs.
Yeah, those orcs wouldn't even know what hit them.
I know.
And plus, I actually liked your meme about your verbal meme about Jaime Lannister. He's like, "Hi, I'm Jaime Lannister, and I'm a freaking idiot."
Yeah, that's right. I'm a freaking idiot.
Yeah, Jaime is such a freaking idiot. Like, he took a lance and was charging towards the dragon on his horse, and then Thrawn knocked him off of it, and he jumped into a very deep part of the lake, and he almost drowns.
Oh no. Imagine how tragic it would have been if Aquaman showed up.
Woo! Aquaman! Hey, I don't know if I told you this, but I think the trailer for Aquaman is out now. Yeah, I just want to see Jason Momoa kick butt and look really masculine.
Come on, everybody wants to see Jason Momoa, aka Khal Drogo, kick underwater butt and look really masculine.
I know.
Yeah, and Leroy, we all saw your video, the one where you reveal Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, but it's on Instagram TV.
Oh yeah, don't forget, we will be doing some exclusive Instagram TV content. Which, to the audience at home, if you're watching this, we're doing Instagram TV content. And if you have an Instagram,
well, we will link to. You know what? I'll probably try and link to my Instagram channel until the description of this video.
Oh, you'll do that, right?
Yes.
Well, okay, we're in the middle of our presentation, and Leroy.
Yeah. They like totally killed off the token white girl.
Oh, I know. A bow to Thanos for killing off Artario. Bow! What a tragedy! Bow!
Yeah, and I swear, if anything happens to Everett Ross, that's it. I'm
I'm gonna claw that guy to death. Yeah, and I mean, we are the toys, and we don't have to put up with any of this. Yeah, like, who does Thanos think he is anyway? I know.
I mean, I can't believe Thanos would do something like that. Ugh, hate that jerk. I know, he deserves to die.
But we'll talk Avengers stuff later. Anyway, here's more things we can talk about. Like, today, guys, we're gonna play What's Your Favorite Tolkien Thursdays video? Alright, now, let's start with Christopher, what was your favorite video?
My favorite video was the one where you guys, well, it is the one where you guys did that Lord of the Rings cosplay.
I know. And
I thought Bella was pretty funny. Now give me the ring. No, give me the ring. No.
I know. And I'm just glad Bella's not here to hear that part, or she would fry someone's brains out. Like, she doesn't have time for anyone's stupidness.
Okay, and well, not my favorite Tolkien Thursdays video was the one where you guys did the Fellowship of the Star Wars, a video. You try to combine Star Wars with the Lord of the Rings.
I know. That you mean?
Well,
we need to do an episode.
It's called The Fellowship is Strong with this one.
But that was last year when we celebrated the 40th anniversary of Star Wars.
And
actually, I liked your 80th anniversary of the Hobbit presentation. Yeah, I know. It was 80 years since the Hobbit was published.
Yeah. Oh, so
yeah. And last year we celebrated 40 years of the Silmarillion and 80 years of the Hobbit.
But we only have, like, in between them, 50. We have over 50 years of Lord of the Rings. So Lord of the Rings has been around for the last 50 years. And it has some very impressive staying power.
You want to know what else has some impressive staying power?
What?
Star Trek. Well, our favorite Tolkien guy, Benedict Cumberbatch, was. And he
played a very convincing Khan.
I know. And,
well, actually, Khan was just a straight up bad guy.
I know. And,
what time is it?
It's 2 o'clock.
Ooh, well, I think we got 12 more minutes. Okay, yep, I'm watching the clock, y'all. Y'all only got a few more minutes because we got our own presentation.
Yes. We hear you, Jacqueline. Okay, so, which video did you like the best?
Oh, I like the one where... Okay, I know it's gonna go off Tolkien, but I liked the Black Panther presentations.
The Black Panther presentations?
Oh yeah, like, I like the part where you all talked about Black Panther.
Yeah, and we all got excited over that. And appeal to Thanos for snapping him to death! Ugh!
Oh, come on. Why would Thanos snap Black Panther to death? Like, come on. Black Panther is pretty popular with the people.
Yeah, and you don't just take anybody who's popular and snap them to death. Bow! What a tragedy. Bow!
Yeah, and guys,
What?
we got 10 more minutes.
Oh, 10 more minutes?
So we're going to need to kind of wrap this up.
Okay, thank you for reminding us, Jacqueline. But
we need to. Okay, I got this burning question. How did you guys even start tea and Tolkien?
okay, well, it was, but at the beginning it was just Talking Thursdays.
But in the middle of a Pretty Little Liars presentation, where we were previewing the last season of Pretty Little Liars, we kind of got to talking about Tolkien.
Yeah, and of course, especially the Cards Against Middle Earth edition, which we probably should play.
Yeah, as soon as I make enough cards.
Of course. And not only that, we need to do.
Yeah, your favorite one was heaps and heaps of treasure. That's how I want to die.
I like that one. Oh, and so we should do Middle Earth Against Humanity.
You mean Cards Against Middle Earth?
Yes, and I come up with some of the worst things in the world.
I know. I mean, it's gonna be so bad when you guys play the game.
Ow.
Well, my favorite part was the one where we first did the Hitchhiker's Guide to Middle Earth.
Yeah, and the fun part was we also did Middle Earth versus Star Wars, where Frodo has to break into the Death Star and destroy it. You see, if you're going to combine Lord of the Rings with Star Wars,
look, if Frodo's going to be a Jedi, Sauron has to have the Death Star. Okay, that's kind of how things are done.
And not only does Lord of the Rings,
see that's natural. It has to be like that.
So but at the end though of the story, the Death Star has to be blown up.
Yes, the Death Star gets blown up because, well, that's kind of how it is. And then Frodo has to be the one to blow up the Death Star.
Yes. And while everybody else distracts Sauron, Frodo blows up the Death Star. See, that's how it's done. Okay,
why is Humphrey here?
Because, you see, a couple of years ago, Tara and I, we were doing our presentation of Game of Thrones season 6, and Leroy, you were there.
Yeah, and some very rude people crashed our set and wouldn't even stop. They wouldn't even get out till Humphrey had to intervene. And to this day, he's always there, making sure that those show stealers don't come back and, steal the show.
I know.
But how do you guys handle people who... How do you guys handle haters?
Well, we don't get too many haters. But if you want to know how to handle them, don't reply to them. Don't respond to them. I mean, if they put hate on your videos, the smartest thing to do is to not give them any attention. Don't give them any of your attention because they just want to play into. They just want you to play in their game. Don't play their game, okay? That's bad. And but we haven't had anybody on our show who prefer the cartoons to the live action version, and
we especially haven't had anyone. I mean, nobody's really badmouthed us for preferring the Hobbit movies to the cartoon.
I know nobody's really referred to us like that. But anyway,
that's that. Okay, so are you guys gonna just talk about Middle Earth in general?
Yes. And There's so many stories that took place in Middle Earth besides the things that happened in Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Like, we need to know, like, how did Bart's family manage to escape the dragon when he showed up and attacked Dale? And
we also need to know. Well, I also want to know more about, like, we want to know about what happened in Moria when Balin was living there.
Yeah, I know. We all remember we told the little Tolkien fan club that story.
Yeah, that's. I keep watching that video from time to time, and it still makes me sad.
I know. I mean, it was kind of a tragedy.
Yeah, and I also wrote a story called Sad News from Moria, where Gimli comes back to Erebor and tells everybody what had happened. And then the remaining members of the company started crying because, like, that was so sad.
I know.
I mean, why would Balin want to go back to Moria? I mean, his dad died there.
I know. And there was that scene in Lord of the Rings where they go to Moria and you see a tomb of a dwarf, and then there was another dwarf holding a book, and then that dwarf, now we found out, was actually poor little Ori.
Aww.
I mean,
like, poor little Ori. Why would he go to Moria? That's a terrible place. Why would he go there? I mean, what if he had family that died there?
I know. It hurts so much.
Oh, and okay. So the future of the show is we will be taking a tour of Middle Earth, and we will discuss some of the peoples featured in the Lord of the Rings books that didn't make it into the movie. I mean, if they made it to the movie, though, it would take about 7 days just to watch Fellowship of the Rings because it would have been too much.
Wow. Or we could debate would Lord of the Rings, would the entire Lord of the Rings been better off if it was put on TV.
Especially The Hobbit would have done a whole lot better.
Yeah. On TV, it probably would have. And then, of course, we probably would see Keely getting all flirty with elves. And,
Yep. And then he'd probably get all flirty with elves until he meets Tario.
And then, of course, if they put the Hobbit in our series, then we would probably see a lot more.
Yeah. Keely and Tario getting to know each other. Legolas wanting to know who Gimli is.
I mean, we would see some time pass, like a couple of weeks now. And
then, of course, in Lord of the Rings, the story would be fleshed out a little better.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish they put Arwen with the Fellowship. She probably would have followed them. She probably would have followed them behind. But then there would be problems, like she would get sick and she would be too weak to travel. So she probably would have to stay in Rohan along with the other surviving elves who came to Helm's Deep.
And I'm pretty sure she would have fought well if anything went south.
I know. And I'm pretty but let's take what we got.
Yeah, they say retcon the Hobbit, but no, that's not going to work. Oh, it turns out that we got less than a minute. So we're going to have to wrap this thing on up.
Yeah. But anyway, now that we are in the final seconds of our presentation, I just want to say this.
Thank you all very much for coming out today and supporting our Tea and Tolkien show.
Yes, and if anybody wants to be on the show, all you have to do is let us know about 3 days in advance so we can incorporate you in the show. And,
yeah, and, well, oh, Time's up. Yep, time's up, everyone. Aww.
I know. Oh, as we're saying, thank you very much for coming out today to support the show.
And to talk about, and you're willing to talk about everything Tolkien related.
And if you want to be on the show, just let us know 3 days in advance.
Like, tell us on Monday if you want to be on the show so we can, like, take our press photos.
And if you just want to talk with us, that's cool too. Okay, everybody. Now I own the show, and the show is over. So meow.
Okay. Goodbye. And we'll see you on Thursday.